So in BC, there's been a lot of conversation around a Supreme Court decision that has returned land to Indigenous peoples in Richmond, BC, which is effectively changing freehold land to leasehold land. Some people have got really heated about it, understandably, and it's a really delicate social topic at the moment. But this channel is about comics and manga, so instead I want to talk about this, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender graphic novel called The Promise, which picks up right after the conclusion of the animated series. So if you're not familiar with the story of Avatar, basically the First Nations, basically the four nations lived together in harmony until the Fire Nation attacked, but the Avatar, who is the master of all four elements, saves the world by defeating the leader of the Fire Nation, and now at the end of the story, you're in a situation where the Fire Nation has occupied territory in all of these other nations, and the people who were there first want to have those lands back, and in this book we're going to be focusing on the Earth Kingdom. So the new leader of the Fire Nation, Zuko, this guy right here, promises to recognize the original occupants of the Earth Kingdom and return those stolen lands in something he calls the Harmony Restoration Movement. Some might call this an act of reconciliation. And this all comes to a head in the city of Richmond. God damn it, the city of Udao, even though this movement applies to the entire country, I mean nation. So the Fire Nation does start to withdraw from the Earth Kingdom, but it's contentious because the Fire Nation citizens have lived there for generations at this point. And so this has become home for them too. The Fire Nation citizens don't support the promise of harmony, which angers the people of the Earth Kingdom. Understandably, it is their home originally after all. It's put into the hands of the Avatar, who is this kind of Supreme Court of elemental powers, and at first he's on the side of the Earth Kingdom and says, no, you promised to reconcile and return these stolen lands, so you're going to have to do that. But then he consults with others, sees the way that the people are living, and realizes that just returning the land isn't a viable or fair option anymore because of the harm that it does to Fire Nation citizens, Earth Kingdom citizens, other immigrants who might have arrived there as well. We don't see this in this graphic novel, but what we learn in The Rift, which is another Avatar graphic novel that comes later, is what's established in Udao is a new coalition government that's a collaboration between both Fire Nation as well as Earth Kingdom, and that they're focusing on land governance instead of land ownership. It doesn't have to be about changing land status, but rather giving back elected representation at higher levels of government, especially if those people care about the land itself. Overall, I think this is a really great book. It really stays true to the Avatar themes and topics and captures a lot of the character voices. I think there's also a lot that can be learned from this story, and it brings up a lot of really interesting ideas. I also really like the part where Toph creates a giant metal pig and eats shoes.